Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Colorado Virtual College Fair. We're excited that you're here. We're going to wait just a couple more minutes, let the rest of the students finish finding their way into the room, and we'll get started here in about a minute. Okay, it looks like we have most of our group, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Good evening, everyone. Again, welcome to the Colorado Virtual College Fair. We're really excited that you're here. We have a great panel of speakers and colleges for you tonight. Hopefully you'll learn lots of great information about these colleges that you're interested in. I'm just going to go through a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. First, your cameras and microphones are off, so we can't see you or hear you, so don't worry about that. Hopefully you can see and hear us just fine. If not, just send us a message in that Q&A box and we can troubleshoot that with you. The Q&A button on your screen is really going to be the best way to engage with your presenters tonight. So if you have questions throughout the evening, either general college questions or questions for a specific college that's here, feel free to type those in the Q&A box all throughout the presentation. It doesn't just have to be while they're presenting. It can be anytime throughout the presentation. They'll be responding to those and typing back responses. And then we may have some time at the end to answer some live as well. So don't forget to do that. And then also, this is just one of many different sessions that we're hosting this week and this evening. So be sure to check the StriveScan website, sign up for any additional sessions you might be interested in. And then this presentation is being recorded and will be posted on the StriveScan website where you signed up within about a week. So if you want to see this one or any others, they will all be there for you as well. So this is our schedule for tonight. We are in the session E7 box. We have 5 colleges for you. So we are going to kick things off with St. Olaf College.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to get us started. So again, hello. My name is Shannon, and I am one of the assistant deans of admissions at St. Olaf College, which is located in Northfield, Minnesota. Northfield is about 45 minutes away from the Twin Cities, so kind of the major metropolitan area in Minnesota. I am currently in my 4th year working in admissions at St. Olaf, and I have loved working with students from Colorado. I'm sad that I can't travel there this fall to be there in person, but still really happy to be connecting with all of you virtually. So I will start by talking about academics. So I think probably the biggest thing to know about St. Olaf is that we are a small liberal arts college, and we take our identity as a liberal arts college really seriously. So we want students to be able to get the depth in whatever major they choose. But really, like all throughout your time as a student, we want you to be able to explore and take classes outside of your major so that even after you pick a major, which you need to do by spring of your sophomore year, your interest can still continue to organically develop. And I think that's really important for students in terms of a holistic education, and also when it comes to thinking about your career, that you can just continue to explore those options. Something else about our academic environment is we operate on a 4-1-4 academic calendar. So this means we have 2 semesters, which is what the 4s represent, and we also have a J term over January. I think this is a great opportunity to kind of change the flow up of the academic year. So during that month, you're just taking 1 class. It counts for the same amount of credit as a class during the semester, but it's obviously just truncated, a little bit more fast pace, and it's the only thing you have to worry about during that month, so you are able to like really give full mental dedication to it. This is also a super popular time to study abroad, which I'll talk more about in just a minute. The other thing that I would say about academics at St. Olaf is that certainly our small student body size, so we have about 3,000 students total at St. Olaf, that allows us to keep class sizes small, and I think from that, strong relationships not only with classmates but with faculty are definitely a pretty defining part of the St. Olaf experience. So moving on to student life, I think that many students are drawn to St. Olaf for the kind of rigorous liberal arts college experience. But I think a lot of students feel very compelled or feel a strong sense of connection when they get to know the community a little bit more. I am an alum of St. Olaf, so I have some personal experience with this, but I think that a couple of words I would use to describe the community is that they are very engaged. So I think many students at St. Olaf find that they, of course, want academics to be at the forefront and a really big part of their experience, but are also looking for kind of equal rigor and engagement and passion in their extracurricular activities, as well as with making connections outside of the classroom. And I think a huge part of what allows students to be so engaged in so many ways is the fact that most students are living on campus all 4 years. So if you think like, what does this mean day to day? Living a 10-minute walk from your classes, the cafeteria, which you see pictured here, any of your activities, your dorms where many of your friends are living, there's such a convenience with just being able to kind of go from thing to thing. And I think it lets people really like fully embrace college to whatever extent they want to. I also love to mention the cafeteria here because I think this is one way that students are really able to make sure that maintaining friendships and connections is a really active part of their experience, even if they do have a busy schedule where they're managing lots of things. It helps that I think we have really good food. We're ranked 7th in the US for college cafeteria food, so I think that helps people also be excited to eat in the cafeteria. I mentioned study abroad as something that's really popular. We right now, St. Olaf sends abroad the most students of any liberal arts college in the country relative to our size. So about 75% of students will study abroad, and we've held that title for the last 11 years now. So it's something that is a really important part of our identity. Unfortunately, it's been sort of interrupted by COVID, which is unfortunate, but I'm confident that when it's safe to begin traveling abroad again, this will continue to be a big part of our identity. But a big reason that it is such a big part is that academically and financially, I think it's very accessible. You can get all sorts of different kinds of credit abroad, and then also all financial aid or scholarship that you get to attend St. Olaf transfers to the cost of these programs. Something else that's quite a big part of St. Olaf's identity is our fine arts programs. Particularly music tends to be very popular, but really all across the board. With theater, dance, and visual art as well. We do offer scholarships in these areas, and these are open to majors and non-majors, because a thing that's very, I think, defining of the fine arts at St. Olaf is that there is almost nothing that majors can do that non-majors can't do. So I think often a really big draw for students is them saying, you know, I want to continue to be involved with music or theater or whatever it is at a high, rigorous, challenging level. But I also really want to explore other interests. Maybe I want to be pre-med, or maybe I want to study history. Whatever it is, you're kind of able to fit all of those things into your experience. And the last thing I'll mention before I finish up here is our Career Center. We, of course, want you thinking about what will happen after. And I think the Career Center is really committed to making sure that you are able to do what you're passionate about, and will help you think about a variety of ways to get there. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Shannon. Okay, next up, we're going to go to the University of Minnesota, Rochester, Health Sciences.
Hello, everyone. Let me just share my screen with you real quick here. All right, so we are the University of Minnesota, Rochester. My name is Hannah Medine. I am a senior admissions representative, and I've been at UMR for about 6 years. UMR is very unique in the sense that we only focus on one major, and that is health sciences. All of our students are going into the healthcare field at Rochester. The reason why our campus was created was because we wanted to have connections with the Mayo Clinic, which is right across the street from our campus. Mayo Clinic is the #1 hospital in the US, and so our students have some pretty amazing opportunities to connect with them, whether that be through research, internships, and volunteering. So with science degree, there are not just one type of career you have to go into. There's actually a lot of different career pathways within the health sciences. So our students are going into patient care, which includes going on to medical school, nursing, pharmacy is all included in that. But there's all of these other areas of the healthcare field that you can go into at UMR as well. That includes mental health and well-being, the business and leadership side of healthcare, healthcare research and discovery, public policy and global health, and emerging health technologies. So students, actually their first 2 years of being on campus, they are prepping themselves for all of these different types of areas. And so you don't really have to decide right away, and you're actually learning about all of these different areas of the healthcare field. A little bit about Rochester, Minnesota. It is the third largest city in the state. Our population right now is 115,000 and growing. There's this thing called Destination Medical Center that's happening in Rochester. And so Mayo Clinic wants to hire many more employees in the area. And so there's lots of construction and the largest economic growth happening in the state right now in Rochester. So it's a very booming city. Here's a couple fast facts for you guys about the University of Minnesota Rochester. So we're actually the newest campus of the University of Minnesota system. You'll hear from the Twin Cities campus in just a moment here. So we opened our doors in 2009. We have 850 students on campus, so we are fairly small. We have an average class size around 23 students. And we don't have any lecture hall types of courses on our campus. So you don't have any classes where you have hundreds of students in the class. They're all very small within those classes. 100% of our classes are taught by faculty members, and about 96% of our students graduate within 4 years or less. We also have a few collaborations with Mayo Clinic in our Bachelor of Health Science or Professions degree, which is a patient care opportunity. And so you can actually choose from these 4 career paths. That includes echocardiography, radiography, respiratory care, and sonography. And you do 2 years at UMR and then 2 years at Mayo's Clinic School of Health Sciences. But it's not too far away from us. It's right across the street in the Stevens building. So here's a look at our student profile. We have a holistic review of our application. So what that means is we're not just looking at one number and basing your admissions decision off of that number. And so our average GPA is a 3.6. This year, the ACT and SAT are optional for us. These are our averages coming in, but you will not have to submit a test score this year. Also, many of our students are in the top 22% of their class. How to apply to UMR, you can apply right on our website. Our application is live. You can apply through Common Application, or you can share your application from the Twin Cities campus to apply to many different U of M colleges. We also have one thing on our application that is special. We have a short answer question going into why you're interested in going into the healthcare field. And so that's kind of your moment to let us know maybe a career path you're interested in. Maybe you had a class in high school that really interested you in the healthcare field. Anything to help you stand apart. And that can actually lead to different scholarship opportunities on campus. The most important date to keep in mind is December 1st for us. All scholarship consideration does go away after that point. And so that is our priority deadline. We still have a few months away, but it's going to come up real fast. And so I would recommend to get your application done in the October timeframe. That's mostly what I had for you guys. You can actually reach out to me specifically. I am the Colorado representative. We do have some online virtual open houses coming up where you can learn even more about the university. And so feel free to reach out to me with any questions.
Great, thank you, Hannah. Okay, let's see here. Next up, we're going to go to the University of Minnesota Twin Cities with Rachel.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel Tanner. I use she, her, hers pronouns. I'm the National Recruitment Coordinator for the University of Minnesota Twin Cities. So we are the land-grant flagship institution for the Minnesota System campuses, and we're nestled in between the downtown of both Minneapolis and St. Paul. So this is a picture of campus. If you catch this train 10 minutes this way, it's downtown Minneapolis. 20 minutes the other way is the downtown of St. Paul. So students who come to our campus get a really unique environment in that they get kind of the best of both worlds. For those students looking for that classic Big Ten college experience, but you want to maintain an urban environment. The neighborhoods that's around us are very student driven. So you're still going to feel like you're on a college campus. However, this train connects you really quickly to both cities. So high level numbers, what we're looking at, Division I sports, 900 student groups, 150 majors, and Tier 1 research. So we do try to bring our students breadth and depth academically, meaning we want to offer you a variety of majors while still making sure that we're diving deep enough into those majors that you come out as experts in that field. So 150 majors, 135 minors, and we have many graduate professional programs on campus too. So law school, veterinary programs, medical school, OT, PT, we have all of that right there, so we can get you some pre-health and pre-professional advising right away your freshman year. On top of that, we are a Tier 1 research, which means majority of research happening in the state of Minnesota comes through our campus. So if you're interested in doing some undergraduate research, you can certainly partner up with faculty members, or you can submit your own research proposal and we'll give you funding to do the research yourself. So if there's a question you've always wanted the answer to, it's a phenomenal way to dive a little bit further into the area that you're most interested in, but also it's a fantastic thing to put on your resume after you've graduated. And that varies so much, of course, in the health sciences. We also have students doing it in farm fields. So if you've ever had a Honeycrisp apple, that was created in our food science program. So when you're getting your fall vibe, think of U of M. Despite our large size, we try to keep those class sizes small. So 80% of all classes are 50 students or less, 65% of all classes are 30 students or less. So your major courses are going to feel more like what you are probably used to in high school. The large classes, those are generals. We keep them big intentionally because we want to make sure that you have access to them. You can get through them and then get into your major. So when we have you in a large lecture setting, we're always going to pair it with a discussion or lab. That's a separate time of the week when you meet with only about 25 to 30 other students, not to learn anything new, but just to go over what was taught in lecture. That way you have the chance to ask questions or get help on something. So you're always having that academic support built in, even in a large lecture setting. So when you apply to the University of Minnesota Twin Cities, you apply directly into one of our 8 freshman admitting colleges. We do this for a couple of reasons. The first is we know we're a big school. So we found it's really helpful for our students to successfully transfer from high school into college by coming into a smaller community of scholars that share academic interests with them. That way you can start getting to know classmates and faculty members within your college very quickly. We also do it so that you know you have access to the major that you want. We don't want you getting caught up because you can't get into a major that you are interested in. So this way you can start in that classwork right away, make sure it is the right fit for you. And if it's not, we can help you transfer and figure out which major would be the best fit for your career goals. So when you apply to Minnesota, keep this in mind. There are several majors to choose from, so I definitely recommend exploring those because you'll find that some of our programs overlap. Now, all of this is a kind of exception with our School of Nursing. Our nursing is a direct entry for your Bachelor of Science. You cannot get into it unless you apply into a freshman year. Everything else, if you change your mind, that's okay. We can help you transfer in and out, but nursing students start right away in that cohort, so you must apply up into your first year that way. The other popular majors I see coming out of for my Colorado students are going to be within the biological sciences with neuroscience and genetics, the architecture and product design programs. I also see a lot of students interested in our sport management program and our kinesiology. We have the animal science, so for pre-vet students, environmental sciences, our business schools, number 15 in the country, number 18 in the world. And then we do have the College of Science and Engineering, so biomedical, mechanical, computer engineering, computer science, and we just recently added data science, so that's really growing too. So like a good big school, we've got tons of opportunities for students to get involved. I love this as a student because then you really got to pick and choose how you want to navigate campus by finding your niche and finding your community. In those 900 student groups, 200 of those are student cultural center groups, and then we have 12 student cultural centers, which are spaces for some of our larger student groups, like Black Student Union or La Raza, to meet and connect both personally and academically. So it's a really great opportunity for students to dive into that community. But if you're looking for other spaces to get involved, we have pre-professional groups, volunteer organizations, religious-based groups. We have intramural sports. You can go Greek if you want to rush a sorority and fraternity. We even have a sweatpants wearing club. So I do think there is a little something for everybody. I mean, I don't know who doesn't like wearing sweatpants with all this time at home, at least to some extent. We do have a massive study abroad program. So our business flex requires that students study abroad, but any major can study abroad because we have over 200 programs in over 60 different countries. Again, I'm saying this knowing that this world does look much different, and we are working with student safety as our #1 priority. But I highly recommend studying abroad. If you're interested, check it out. We can make it work with any degree program. Now, the neighborhoods that surround us make us a really unique campus because there are what is going to make us feel like a college town. Dinkytown and Stadium Village are directly next to our campus, and they're very student driven. It has a lot of affordable apartment housing for students. It's where you can get late night pizza, or the coffee shops will be open for your cram sessions. It's where the homecoming parade goes through, or where you can get all your Gopher gear. So students love that because it adds that Big Ten experience. There's a lot of school pride and a lot going on campus, but we are right in the middle of Minneapolis and St. Paul, which opens up a huge professional advantage for our students. That train can connect you to a number of companies in a matter of minutes. There are 16 Fortune 500 companies now headquartered in Minnesota, and they're constantly recruiting out of our programs. With our location too, students are able to navigate having an internship throughout the school year. Like I had an internship on a Tuesday and Thursday, still went to class Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So they're great companies that are going to be doing that, and you can manage to have 1 or 2 before you graduate, which is really great for my national students who maybe want to go back and work in their home state. If you go through a program like with Target, I mean, it's recognized no matter where you want to go after that. It's also fun to be in a city. Minneapolis, St. Paul has a lot going on. There's 6 professional sports teams right on that train line. The second most theater seats per capita, second to just New York City. Museums and concert venues in and around campus, and lots of different neighborhoods for you all to check out if you want to try the newest restaurant. So I love being able to go to a concert after the Gopher game on a Saturday. It really adds to the experience of both getting involved in our Gopher community, but also the Twin Cities community too. Now, coming to any university is a huge commitment of your time and your money. We've been named a great value institution by Forbes for a couple of reasons. One of them is largely due to our retention rate. 93% of our first year students come back our second year. You can see our tuition and fees here. We do have a number of academic merit-based scholarships as well. So just very quickly to apply, we have gone no test required. So we just need your application, your self-reported grades and the application fee, and you're considered for admission, honors, and scholarships. So thank you so much for your time. We're going just down the street. If you have further questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Great, thank you, Rachel. Okay, next up, we have the University of St. Thomas.
All right, hello everyone. I'm sharing my screen real quick. My name is Chris Peterson. I'm an admissions counselor at the University of St. Thomas. I'm originally from Minnesota. I graduated from St. Thomas just a couple years back with a marketing major. I was a psych minor, part of the track team, part of a bunch of different clubs and organizations, worked a few jobs on campus. I just absolutely loved my experience at St. Thomas so much that I have not left yet. So I'm glad to be able to share a little bit about one of my favorite places with you. So talking first off, just a little bit about our location or our locations. We have 3 campuses at St. Thomas. The main campus for our undergraduate students is going to be in St. Paul, kind of tucked right between downtown St. Paul and downtown Minneapolis, or about 15, 20 minutes from both of those downtown areas. In this nice, quiet little neighborhood. So you get a nice mix of both being in a nice big metro area, but you get kind of the quiet comforts of being in a little smaller community. Really close by our St. Paul campus, there's a bunch of different places to go out to eat, go shopping. We're about a 5 to 10 minute walk from the Mississippi River. So a lot of green space around where you can go hang out, do some homework, maybe hang up a hammock or something like that. So I just really, always really appreciate the green space around campus in St. Paul. And that's going to be the home to pretty much everything for our undergraduate students, all of our residence halls, athletic facilities, student center, all that's going to be on our St. Paul campus. Then we do also have a campus in downtown Minneapolis that's home to our law school. A lot of our graduate programs are over there. A few undergraduate programs, business and education will have courses over there. But whether or not students are going to be taking a class over on our Minneapolis campus, having that campus is a really great resource for our students because we have a shuttle that goes back and forth between those 2 campuses. So it's really nice to be able to take the shuttle to get downtown if you have to go to class, or if you are going to go to a Timberwolves game or a Twins game, you're going to go to a concert, go out to eat. There's a ton of different things you can do in downtown Minneapolis, and the shuttle just gives you really easy access to that. It also does run year round, so if you have a job or an internship in downtown Minneapolis during the summer, you can get over there really easy. Not have to worry about driving and parking downtown. Then our 3rd campus is in Rome, Italy. Shuttle doesn't quite go there yet. We're working on that, but that's going to be a really popular place for students to study abroad. it's the most popular place for St. Thomas students to study abroad, but we do have study abroad programs all around the world. Top 5 most popular are Rome, the UK, Spain, China, and Australia. I've had friends study abroad in Japan, New Zealand, Uganda, Rwanda, Morocco, Cuba, Mexico, Argentina, Chile, Brazil. So the possibilities go on and on there. And about 56% of our students will study abroad at some point in time. So it's a very popular thing to do. Jumping on next, going to talk just a little bit about academics at St. Thomas. And then also a little bit about the size of St. Thomas. I'll start with that actually. So we are the largest private school in the state of Minnesota. We have right around 6,200 undergraduate students and about 4,000 graduate students. So we're in the ballpark right around 10,000 students in total, which makes us kind of a unique size of a school. We're not going to be quite as large as the University of Minnesota or CU Boulder or anything like that. But we're not as small as some of the other private schools. We're about twice as large as some of the other private schools in Minnesota. So that gives us some nice advantages. We're able to offer some of the perks of being a little bit bigger school and the perks of being a smaller school. On the big school side, we've got a really wide variety of majors for students to choose from, as well as minors. There's over 150 majors and minors for students to choose from. Our sports teams historically have done extremely well. And then there's just always different things going on campus. I'll talk a little bit about all of that in a second. But you really see the perks of us being a smaller school when you're looking at the academics and you're looking at being in the classroom. So the average class size at St. Thomas is 21 students. And this just creates a really great learning environment. You're able to get to know your classmates really well, do some really great in-depth projects. And then you're also able to get to know your professors really well. And that wasn't necessarily something I was super jazzed about when I was in high school. I wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go to college and be best friends with my professors. But I did really appreciate the fact I was able to get to know them and build really solid relationships with them once I got to St. Thomas. They can be so helpful when you're in their class because that is their job. 100% of our classes are taught by a professor. You're never taught by a teaching assistant or a graduate assistant. You're always taught by a professor, which is really great. And so they're super helpful during class time, but then also outside of class time. If you need to get a little bit of extra help or you just have some questions for them, all of our professors have office hours you can go to. And if you're not able to make it to their office hours, a lot of professors will put their personal cell phone number on their syllabus. So you can just send them a text and see if there's a time that they're able to meet with you outside of just that normal class or normal office hours time. So just being able to make those connections is really great when you're in their class. But then also when you're looking for jobs in internships or research opportunities, being able to have those connections is great. Our professors love to be able to connect with students and help connect students to maybe their future employer, or maybe if one of our professors is doing research, bringing on one of their students to help with that research. So just being able to make personal connections with your professors is something that I know I and all of my friends at St. Thomas really appreciated. Our top 5 largest majors at St. Thomas, number 1 is going to be business. About 40% of our undergraduate students are business majors, and our business school holds an accreditation that less than 5% of business schools in the world have. So it's a great place to be studying business. The next is going to be the health sciences. And so that's things like biology, chemistry, neuroscience, exercise science, public health, anything for students who want to go into the health field in some way. And then this slide actually needs to be updated. Engineering is now our 3rd largest major. And so it's our fastest growing. We have 4 concentrations within our engineering school. And so there's something we're really excited about, that program really growing there. Talking a little bit about student involvement, we have over 120 clubs and organizations on campus that they're geared towards maybe your major or maybe just something fun that you like to do. So those are really great things to get involved in. We're currently a Division III school, but we are going to be making the jump to Division I at the start of this coming school year. And so we're really excited about that. And then we are also a Catholic institution at St. Thomas, if you can tell by the whole St. Thomas part of our name. So there's a lot of ways for students to get involved with their faith, whether it's through campus ministry or through faith-based clubs. And that's kind of what I've got for you today. So thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Okay, and last but not least, we have College for Creative Studies.
All right, thanks for having me here, guys. I'm Olivia Izinga. I am from the College for Creative Studies in Detroit, Michigan. So let me share my screen with you all. All right. So College for Creative Studies is based in Midtown Detroit, Michigan. We're just a little bit outside of downtown. We're in the cultural district. So Wayne State University is nearby. The Detroit Institute of Arts is in our front yard, as we like to say. So we've got a lot of different historical museums in the area, very much a vibrant college-age district. So I want to talk a little bit about programs first. We offer undergraduate majors, and we also offer master's degrees, but we're going to talk a little bit about the undergraduate majors that we offer. So transportation design is definitely what we're most known for at CCS. Other programs that are very large and known for are product design, illustration, and concept design is our newest major at CCS. There are very few colleges in the country that have a major specifically for concept design. So we're very excited about that, very competitive program to get into, and we're excited to see where that takes us in the future. We also offer our education certification. So what this does is you would choose one of our majors and you would do our education classes along with whatever major you choose. So you're doing curriculum planning, doing student teaching in the area, doing all these things that involve becoming a K through 12 art teacher, doing your certification for teaching art classes in the US and Canada. So that is also an option to go to CCS to study what you want and also to be certified to teach art classes. So why CCS? Why would you choose CCS over another art institution or a university that has an art program? We've been doing art and design for a very long time. We've been around for over 100 years. We offer Masters of Fine Arts in 4 different programs, and then our Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees as well. We are nonprofit, we're independent, and we're also private. And so we have, this year we have about 1,400 students, and those are from people from all over the US and all over the country as well. Most of our classroom sizes are about 9 students to 1 faculty member. So we like to keep it small so you can get that one-on-one interaction and get that personal connection with your professors. Pay Scale named us in 2017 a best value school. So what they were looking at is how quickly are students getting jobs after graduation? How quickly are they able to pay off their student loans if they have any? What is the return of investment? And so that's something that's very important and that we take pride in at CCS, one of our awards that we've won or earned. So if you look at this list, it's a very big list, but you could look at this list of internships where students have gotten in over the past few years. Companies that you've definitely heard of that are in Michigan, are in all over the US, and some of them are international as well. So students are getting internships at these places during the school year, during the summer, and some of these opportunities are turning into full-time jobs after graduation. So a little bit about campus life. And like I said, we are in Midtown Detroit. We consider ourselves one campus with 2 sites because our sites are very close together. They're about 1.5 miles apart. We have shuttles going 24 hours a day, bringing students back and forth. So our Taubman Center for Design is where all of our design-based majors are: transportation design, advertising design, communication, product, and fashion accessories. And then the rest of our majors are at our Ford campus in Midtown. We have housing on both campuses. We have apartment style dorms and loft style dorms. Students aren't required to stay on campus in their freshman year, and you are welcome to bring a car and keep it in our secure parking garages that are on both sites. And a little bit about Detroit, because a lot of people have a bad inkling about what Detroit is like. I have lived there for the past, since 2013, and I have lived in the area where CCS is, and I love it. I don't want to move away. If I had to, I would be very sad. We have a lot of things going on in the area, lots of music festivals and cultural events, a lot of music scene. Techno music is a big thing in Detroit. Museums, you can take the Q line when COVID isn't a thing, up and down Woodward from CCS to downtown. It's a very vibrant area. We have all kinds of different student groups on campus, from Quidditch, to watching scary movies on Friday nights in the auditorium, to sketch battles, groups, bike riding, all kinds of stuff. And if there's a group that you don't see on our list of groups on our website and you want to start something, then you are able to propose that, and we'd love to get students together. And then admissions. So if you're interested in CCS, the next step would be to apply. We would need you to fill out our online application. It is free. It's just a basic form with your information. And then next we need to see your transcripts. We're looking for a 2.5 GPA or higher. The average incoming GPA of a freshman was a 3.3 this past year. We do not need to see ACT or SAT scores. Those, even if you do well on those tests, we don't need to see those scores. But we do need to see your portfolio. We need to see 8 to 12 pieces of your best work submitted via SlideRoom, and you'll get a link to that once you apply. And if you do apply to CCS, like I said, I'm Olivia. I would be the one helping you out with your application. I'm the one who helps out Colorado students. So then we'll get in touch. So that's what I've got. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Olivia. Okay, well, I just wanted to do a quick reminder. If you have questions for our presenters, don't forget to submit those in the Q&A box. We have some time to go through some of those. In the meantime, while we're waiting on some more of those questions, I'm going to ask our presenters to come back on. I'd say we have a few minutes, so if you each want to take 45 seconds to a minute and tell us something that you didn't have time to share during your presentation, something fun that our students watching would be able to look forward to, some type of activity or tradition on your campus. And we'll go in the same order as you did before, if that's okay. So you're welcome to come on the screen together, that's fine. And we will just kick things off that way.
Yeah, so I can get started then. I would say one thing that I didn't talk about too much is our admission and financial aid process. And what I would tell you just in this short amount of time right now is, in terms of affordability, St. Olaf offers both merit scholarships and we meet 100% of demonstrated need. The average financial aid package is about $45,000 and our comprehensive fee is around $63,000. So obviously financial aid is going to vary for everyone, but you can see that on average students are receiving a significant amount of funding. The super last minute fact I would say too is something that's kind of fun about Northfield is the cereal factory is in Northfield. So you can expect really good smells a lot on campus. Even though it's cereal, it tends to smell like cookies. So just a little fun fact.
I love that about Northfield. My husband's from that area, so I'm always like, yeah, it's cereal. Anyway, sorry, a little bit about more about Rochester. We actually don't have any out-of-state tuition costs, and so if you're a Colorado student, it is the same tuition cost whether you're Minnesota or Colorado. And so our tuition, including housing, is around $26,000 per year. Our residential life, our first-year students actually live just about a block away from all of our main classes. And so it's all connected by Skyway. And so our students don't have to walk outside in the wintertime to their classes. And then it's also apartment style living. And so we actually have multiple different floor plans. You can have your own private bedroom your first year of college. Yeah, thanks guys.
Okay, hello everybody, I'm with Minnesota Twin Cities. I would say my favorite tradition, we have homecoming, of course, in the fall, but in the spring, we put on an event called Spring Jam. It's a couple weeks before finals usually, that we have a carnival and a number of concerts that go throughout the week to just help students relax, enjoy the nice weather that's come, and blow a little steam off before they start their finals. So it's a lot of fun. The carnival goes all week. We usually have a battle of the bands with some of our student performers, but then we usually can get a big artist that's up and coming. So we had Lizzo a couple of years ago, but the lineups are really fun, and it's just a really fun way for our students to enjoy campus and enjoy that weather come springtime.
Chris with the University of St. Thomas again. I'm just going to share a little bit about my favorite tradition at the University of St. Thomas. So at the start of each new school year, we have a tradition called the March Through the Arches. And this is a tradition where the entire incoming freshman class will be given a purple t-shirt. We love our purple t-shirts at St. Thomas. And everyone will gather outside our arches on campus, which is a pretty iconic spot on campus. And so the whole class will gather outside of the arches. Our university president, Dr. Julie Sullivan, and our director of, or our vice president of enrollment, Al Catrone, will give a welcome speech, kind of welcome the incoming class to the St. Thomas community. And then you will march in through the arches together as a class. A lot of people from the campus community will show up and cheer. It's a really fun time. And then the tradition kind of ends then right before you graduate, like a day or two before graduation. The whole graduating class will gather on the inside of the arches and then march out together, kind of signifying that you're taking everything that you've gained at St. Thomas, all your knowledge and friendships and relationships, and you're bringing that out into the world together. So just a fun little tradition that we do at St. Thomas.
All right, Olivia here again from CCS. Not so much a tradition, but more of a fun fact. You might not know this alumni's name, but you have definitely seen his work. Tim Flattery is a concept designer who graduated from CCS, and he's worked on different films, concept design for Hunger Games and Bumblebee, Pirates of the Caribbean, and he's also designed 2 of the Batmobiles.
Awesome. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks for letting me put you on the spot. Okay, I'm going to share my screen one last time for the students that are joining us. We just want to say thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about these colleges that you're interested in. When you close the window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. If you don't mind filling that out for us, we'd appreciate any feedback that you have so we can make these better in the future. Also, don't forget, this was just one of many sessions being offered. We have another round right after this, so go back to that website, sign up for any others that you might be interested in, and then in about a week, you can find all of our session recordings, including this one, where you signed up as well on the StriveScan website. So thanks again for joining us. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon.